to be here.
We will take the first question from Roman Madrowski with ESPN.
All right.
Hey, Cody, I wanted to get your thoughts on the other bantamweight bout between Aljamain and Cody, and if you have a prediction, I'd love to hear it.
Man, I really don't care about the other bantamweights. You know, just focus on my fight. You know, may the best man win in those fights, and look forward to future matchups with them in the future, and see how this bantamweight division unfolds after this weekend, and going from there.
Cool. Thank you.
We will take the next question from Caroline Pierce with BT Sport.
Cody, Caroline Pierce here. It's been a while. Love the beard. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Yeah, the quarantine beard.
I like it a lot. Look, it's been a tough time for you. The time off, the injuries, hospitalization that you talked about, as well as obviously the losses. Talk to us about what's been the biggest challenge for you during this time.
I think that life has thrown a lot of challenges. Inside a career, outside of the career, life itself. For me, it wasn't really a challenge. It was just about staying motivated, staying driven. Knowing that life is a marathon, not a sprint. Just constantly reminding myself. You go through these hardships in your life, these hard roads you have to battle up. And I knew that losing the title was going to be a hard thing to do, but to regain it was even going to be harder. So I had to just basically, physically, mentally build myself up for what I was able to do. What was able to need to be done to reclaim that title. And I feel like I've battled my demons. I've corrected a lot of my errors, mistakes, things that I needed to do. Got out of my comfort zone, went to New Jersey. Spent time away from my comfort zone and my family, my everything that I've known. So went coast to coast, and I think this is going to be a huge payoff coming Saturday night.
Talk to us about that but splitting your time between Team Alpha Male, Mark Henry, Ricardo Almeida. What have they added to your arsenal? Where do you feel that you've grown in that time with that additional work and that change of scenery that you've had?
I feel like my coaches from Team Alpha Male, my coach from New Jersey, Ricardo Almeida, Coach Henry, they've added a lot. Just with the coaches in Team Alpha Male, they've all blended everything together, and just always constantly each camps have been just reminding me to be myself. To do what I am best at is, be a fighter, be an athlete, and just remind myself to have fun, to fall in love again with the sport, to have that passion, that fire. And I think that's a difference from this fight camp to the last fight camps going in, leading up to the fight, that I'm hungry again. My passion burns heavier than it's ever have, and just very thankful that fire's back. It sucks to lose it. I love fighting so much that I hate it at times, and every time that I try to walk away from fighting, I feel like I was always drawn back. And knowing this is my true purpose in life, is to be a fighter and use these God-given skills that I was blessed with to provide for my family, to make a better life for myself, to become the best in the world. And just putting the hard work in, and the daily grind is going to be a huge payoff come Saturday.
Really can't wait to see that. You must have confidence. You know what you can do with your hands. It sounds like obviously you've been working on the ground game even more as well. Sometimes in the past there's been a tendency that your emotions can both show us great showmanship in the octagon, but also have got the better of you a little bit. You talked about the psychological work that you've done as well. What does that look like? And is the plan, against Asensao, who's not an emotional guy in himself, he's not going to really rile you up, is the plan to sort of taper that a little bit?
I have a nice game plan. Just be myself in there, just be myself in there, have fun, mix things up, become the martial artist that I know that I am, that I know I've been working on. So just about having fun, man. I'm excited. This whole week even getting here has just felt great to be here. Fight week, getting the Reebok gear, the smallest things, checking in, getting picked up from the airport, like those small things you take for granted. I think you lose sight of those sometimes. Just excited to go through this journey of fight week and have those feels again, get goosebumps thinking about it, your heart races when you think about the fight, and I think that's a difference, mentally, physically, emotionally. I'm invested in this sport. sport again, you know, if you want to call fighting a sport. But I'm all in, you know. I felt like after I won the title, I didn't set goals after. Obviously, I had injuries. I was worried about staying healthy and getting healthy, so I wasn't able to visualize what my next plans were, what my next goals were, and that's what I've done my whole entire life was visualization. You know, manifest my future, and all I could really focus on was just staying healthy, getting healthy, rehabbing through my injuries, and now I was able to have that time to really reflect and just train and get back to the grind. You know, hard work pays off. You know, that's as simple as that. Hard work pays off.
And all of this will obviously be targeted towards Rafael Hassan. So what challenge does he bring to the table, to the cage, if you like?
I mean, I have a lot of respect for Sun Sao. He's been, you know, there's not many WC guys left around, and he's one of those guys that's fought and, you know, been in the top 5, you know, for quite some time now. You know, he doesn't bring the most exciting fights. You know, he's kind of more of a counter striker. So, you know, just for me, it's just, you know, my game plan is just stay busy, do more than him, and you know, push the pace on him and make him fight.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing this new revived and energized version of you in there. So best of luck.
Thanks, Carolyn.
And we will take our next questions from Nolan King with USA Today.
Appreciate the time today, man. Just kind of going off of you know, what was just asked of you. You talked about the mental side of things and the physical adjustments. When you go back and you look at the 3 losses that you had and the changes that you've made, what do you think the biggest adjustment you've had to make coming into this fight is?
Just the hard work. Put the work in. You know, believed in it. Just didn't go in and, you know, clock in. I went in for a purpose to get better each day, to push myself to the limit. I always train hard, always do that, but you know, really investing in myself, becoming a better martial artist. I mean, I traveled 3,000 miles across the country, left my family, left the comforts of my home, left my comfort zone to get out of it, and that's what I really needed. I had new guys, you know, that were hungry to, you know, to challenge me, to be battle tested, come back to Sacramento in between camps, and the same guys, you know, are still battle testing me, and, you know, so just getting ready for war, you know, getting ready for that battle, and just putting yourself in those tough situations, getting out of your comfort zone, and just putting the work in. That's really what's different, you know. No excuses, no injuries, no mental setbacks, you know, no emotional setbacks. Just really trying to find peace in my life. You know, my family brings that to me, and knowing when I was away from them, what I was sacrificing, what I was missing out on, you know, just are going to contribute to my success on Saturday night.
You've talked in the past about potentially moving down to flyweight. Is that still on your plate after this one?
We'll see, man. We'll see how the bantamweight shakes up. You know, I want to be the best in the world, and that's what I set out to do. You know, if it's in my cards to go down to 25 and become the flyweight champion as well as the bantamweight champion, then we'll do that. We'll talk with my coaches and managers. But, you know, first and foremost, I have a, you know, tough adversary in Rafael Sun Sao this Saturday that I'm focused on. You know, but you always try to have your second move ready to go. But you know, it's getting back to the throne. That's what I want. I want the bantamweight title back. You know, I very excited for that opportunity to climb the ranks again. You know, once a hunter, always a hunter.
What do you think the game, like the map to that title shot is? Do you feel like with just a couple more wins here, given your name, given that you're a former champion, you're right back in that mix, you could be the one fighting for the title?
Just go out there and be myself, you know, go out there and fight the way that I fight, you know, put on performances, you know, starch people, you know, first, second, third, fourth, whatever round I have to do it in, you know, just cool, calm, and collected, just really show my growth, you know. I look at it as like a lot of people look at loss and failure or setback as, you know, no progress, you know, or no, but for me it was like I've had to learn the hard way my whole entire life, and I feel like I won the title at 25. You know, I was 25 years old, 11-0 world champion. I lost it early, and I feel like I'm still, you know, I haven't hit my prime yet. I'm 28 years old. I feel every day I'm getting better as a martial artist, as a human, as a man. So I just feel like my best days are ahead of me, and just knowing that life's a marathon, not a sprint. You know, so whatever it takes to get back to that title shot, to become a world champion, I'm mentally, physically, emotionally prepared. to do whatever it needs to be done.
Good luck Saturday, Cody. Appreciate your time, man.
And we'll take our next set of questions from Mike Heck with MMA Fighting. Hey Cody, as you know, in the sport, especially, hindsight is a fickle beast, and you sort of alluded to, you got pushed pretty quickly, became a champion in just 4 years as a pro after just 11 fights. If you could do things differently and get yourself out of your comfort zone like you talked about and learn these lessons a little earlier on, would you do it, or is this an important part of your story and your journey?
Yeah, I would never change anything in my life. I feel like whatever stage you're in or whatever you're going through, you're going to grow through. I truly believe that the Lord puts you in places in your life for learning experiences, setbacks, success. Like, are you prepared for the success that's going to come with a win? Are you prepared what's going to have to be done with a loss? And I've battled my demons. I've faced myself. I faced my insecurities, my setbacks, and really studied those, and really like, all right, I'm gonna it's on me to turn this around. It's on any coach, any teammate. It's on myself. And just being real with yourself and true with yourself and what needs to be done. And that's just putting the hard work in, grinding completely, and every facet of every martial arts discipline you need to do. You need to work on this, you need to work on that, and just becoming a better martial artist is what has really changed my eyes. Going to Jersey has really been a blessing for me. I hate change. Change in my life is I always was like, I'd come home from school, my mom would move the furniture around, and I would literally get physically sick because it would change. So sometimes I think that we look at change as a negative reflection in our life, but some change is good, and this has been good change. A little bit of insanity. I think you can go in there and do the same kind of game plan or same approach to the fighting like I have. That's insane. It's being insane. So just really just soul searching, man. Just talking with myself. It's me versus me always. It's never my adversary or my opponent that's in front of me. It's always, if I can battle myself, I can defeat myself, then I'm gonna go and be victorious against any opponent. Because whatever I do, I'm the harshest critic of myself, and on the corrections, and just being real with myself. No excuses, no nothing. Just, I wouldn't change anything, man. Like, I don't see anyone else that was brought up. Not too many people was brought up like I was, especially in the fight game. I fought everybody. I fought the top contenders, the undefeated knockout artists. 8-0s, the 21-0s I made us, starched them, everybody they put in front of me, knocked them out. Couldn't beat Dominic Cruz. Masterclass performance against him. And for me, once I obtained that goal, like I said, of being a world champion, I dreamed about it since I was a teenager. I obtained that goal. I got injured shortly after. I couldn't manifest or visualize myself inside the octagon or defending the title because I was so focused on staying healthy. I had a huge back injury. I tore my back. I had an annual tear and went to Germany. I did stem cells. I did everything I could besides going under the knife to get surgery. And then that took a long time to rehab and rebuild. And any sport, any athlete knows it's the physicality of it is intense, but the emotional, mental side of it is like, hey, can I push this without it doing it again? So kind of was like held back a little bit in my training, so I wasn't super prepared, but I just got back to that, like, that physical grind. The physical grind. I ended up landing myself in the hospital for a week because I had a kidney infection, just training too hard. But I got out of the hospital and was right back to work, and that's it, man. You have to go through those things. You're gonna be faced with so many different things in this sport, ups and downs, highs and lows, and I feel like life goes in the same way. You just gotta find that balance of life and fighting and career and balance it all. And I feel like I've done a great job as of lately, the last year I would say, to really balance the father, the husband, the fighting, being able to turn it on and off, the switch when it's go time, to where I'm in focus fully in camp, and just really working through everything that life throws at me.
Has this all provided some valuable lessons for you to pass on to your son as well, to know that sometimes life's going to throw you some curveballs, but it's how you react to them, how you bounce back from them and move forward, that defines who you are as a person?
Yeah, definitely. You know, I have eyes on me. My son looks up to me. He watches every single thing I do. I'll shadow box in the house, and I'll see Kai shadow boxing, or I'll, you know, just doing this. Me and my wife trip out all the time because he just listens to us. He just absorbs everything that we do and say and how we act. So I want to be a good example for him. You know what I mean? Like completely be like someone. I want him to be proud to be like, Cody's my father. You know what I mean? That's my father. You know what I mean? That's something that at the end of the day, whether how many titles I have or defend or how many fights I win from here on out, he knows that I give it my all. I never gave up. When the going got tough, I never took a knee. You know what I mean? I might have bent a little bit, but I never broke. You know, I got up no matter times I got knocked down. I keep getting up and fighting for a better life for him, just to show him like this sometimes life doesn't go as you plan. You gotta, you know, roll with the punches and keep going. So that's for everybody. That's for everybody in life. That hopefully like I can inspire a lot of people to like not give up if they're, you know, going through hard times, or, you know, I mean, I was on top of the world, man. I was a world champion, young, had everything, had the world at my fingertips, you know, and I'm on a 3-fight skid, but that never, you know, deterred me from what I feel like I am. I'm the best bantamweight in the world, and I get to showcase that again June 6th with a refound love of the sport, passion, fire burning. Just this one's for my soul. This is what I need, you know. As much as I try to have that hatred for fighting, I'm always pulled back into it because I need fighting more than fighting needs me. And at the end of the day, that's my purpose, and this is how I'm going to hopefully help a lot of people get inspired and motivated, and my son who's looking at me, watching my every move, to just remember that everything happens for a reason. No matter where you're at in life, you gotta just keep, you know, with your head down or head up, and keep chugging along.
So the hunger is clearly there, the desire to compete is certainly there. But I've talked to you a few times over the years. I have to say, outside of the quarantine beard there, you are about as relaxed as I've ever seen you heading into a fight. Is this the most relaxed you've been?
Yeah, I get goosebumps thinking about it, man. Like, I don't know. I think that I've done everything in my power. I left no stone unturned this camp, you know. I've literally been training so hard, you know. Right after Christmas, I went to New Jersey, trained for Jersey, and obviously the kidney infection. Right after I got out of the hospital, I went and searched for the best kidney specialist to make sure my kidneys were okay, and you know, just got back to work. You know, I didn't want to let it all go to waste. You know, no matter what I was going through, just grinding through all the bullshit. You know, there's a lot of bullshit that life throws at you, and you just gotta grind through that stuff. And as simple as that, I know I said it in the past interview or the past questions, is like hard work pays off. You just always gotta remember, hard work will always pay off. You can be the most talented, the most gifted, the fastest, the strongest, whatever. If you're not working hard, you're not gonna get the results you want, and that's all you have to do is just grind. Nobody cares about your excuses. Nobody cares about what happened yesterday, today, you know, what you have going on next week. It's about what's going on. Or did you put in enough work for this camp? Did you put in enough time to go in there? If Rafael's going to give me my best pace, he's going to be able to withstand everything that I am I able to do enough than him to win this fight? And I just know that I've done that. I know that I can go in there and put him in deep waters and drown his ass.
I appreciate all the candor, Cody. All the best to you on Saturday.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you for the time, Cody. That is all we have for you. You are good to go, sir.
All right. That was the easiest one I've done. The media scrum.